card I've ever seen in US boxing.
Andy Cruz, Olympic gold medal champion, 3-0 as a pro. Super middleweight world champion.
Ever seen in US boxing.
Andy Cruz, Olympic gold medal champion, 3-0 as a pro. Super middleweight world champion. Brooklyn's in the house, Zell. The Destroyer, Andy Ruiz. Professional model than a fighter right now, Jose. You look great, buddy. The Pitbull, Isaac Cruz.
This guy, I hate to say it, he's better than those guys in his own respective way. You know what I mean?
Surprise, the morning after. Look. Listen, I know I'm going on vacation starting today, but there was no one I was going to leave without covering the greatest boxing card in U.S. history. Listen, I want to say this. His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, is on a roll. he's like butter. He's on a roll. Okay, this guy put together the greatest card in boxing history with the Day of Reckoning. Now putting together the second greatest card in boxing history with the 5 versus 5 with Beterbiev versus Bivol headlining for Undisputed. And at the same time putting on the greatest card in U.S. history, Terence Crawford versus Madrimov. This card is extremely spectacular. I mean, I'm talking about it's just lit from bottom to top. No Diddy. I don't know why that felt like no Diddy. But with that said, I want to say this. Before I talk about the entire card, I want to make a quick note about Terence Bud Crawford versus Madrimov. Listen, Terence Crawford versus Madrimov is for the WBA super welterweight title and the WBO interim title, which means if Sebastian Fundora doesn't fight the winner between Terence Crawford, let's just say Terence Crawford, he's going to be Madrimov. If he doesn't fight the winner, then he has to vacate his WBO title, which I don't see the PBC allowing Terence Crawford back in, okay? I think they froze them out. They literally said that, all right, saying that Terence Crawford was a free agent and that Errol Spence is like family. So they're not going to make a fight with Terence Bud Crawford. With that said, for me now, for me, this fight against Madrimov is for unification. That's how I'm going to look at it. That's how I'm going to look at it. It's practically for unification, okay? And with that said, I want to say this. I know I've been really demanding the Boots Ennis and Terence Bud Crawford fight, but His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has promised us that he's trying to make that fight by the end of year. So, with that said, you have Terence Crawford fighting for unification at 154. If that fight happens with Boots, it would be at 154. So I want to say this as a quick note. The showbiz, the adult community, the war room, the boxing revolution, and the booty buddies. Now, I mean, at this point, I think we need to drop the hatchet, bro. At this point, I think we're all getting what we want. Somehow, Turki Al-Sheikh is giving us all what we want. The booty buddies wanting Terence Bud Crawford to go up to 154, unify, or go on his journey to be undisputed. And the war room wanting a great matchup between Boots and Terence Bud Crawford. We're going to get all of that. So at this point, there's no reason to cry. There's nothing to cry about. I think we're all happy and it's all good. I'm not a complainer. Now let's talk about this card. This card has, for the first time, I think, 2 knockout of the year fighters. You have Pitbull versus Jose Valenzuela, who had knockout of the year last year. Pitbull? No. Royal.
1-2 and 131. Jose the
then we have who I think is the most talented prospect in the world, Andy Cruz. He will be fighting Antonio Moran, who got knocked out in a knockout of the year back in 2019. And who did it? Devin Haney.
Now Haney's got that fire in his eyes. On a one-hitter Twitter.
By the way, that was the last time Moran's been knocked out. He fought Barbosa Jr., he fought Jermaine Ortiz. He hasn't been knocked out since. And ironically, Devin Haney hasn't knocked out anyone since. And that's the black Joe Jogas. A little bit of cream. All right, let's talk. Another fight that I think we're all looking forward to is Big Baby Miller versus Andy Ruiz, who's been out of boxing for 18 months. Okay, he's been, just not busy whatsoever. Oh, did you hear what Big Baby Miller, what he called this fight with Andy Ruiz?
I got to figure out a punchline or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like the battle of fast food, Nikito Taco Bell versus the Burger King. You know what I mean? So,
That's a good start.
Best man wins.
Bro, I'm going for Burger King. I think Burger King's going to take Taco Bell on this one. If you look at Big Baby Miller versus Dubois, though he lost, it got scary, bro. It got scary. And Big Baby Miller, I mean, his last fight was on the day of reckoning, so he just fought. In comparison to Andy Ruiz, he just fought, all right? Big Baby Miller didn't look that bad. He got stopped at the end, I believe, but he went pretty much the distance. He went until the last round. I think he's going to be just fine. And he didn't even have a full training camp for that fight. I got Big Baby Miller, and I'm telling you, this is a big moment for Big Baby Miller. If with that slugfest he put on Dubois to follow that up, if he beats Andy Ruiz, which I think he will, this is a big moment for him. Now let's talk about the main event: Terence Crawford versus Madrimov. Madrimov, I've been watching Madrimov since the very beginning. I do like him. I like the Dream. I think he's skillful. I like him. And I made a video about him when he first came out, when he first broke onto the scene. I do. I really, no matter how much junk I was talking about him being 10-0-1, I like the kid. I think he's good. He's not on Crawford's level. All right. Crawford's going to beat the shit out of him. All right. But with that said, though, this is what really shocked me. And it shouldn't have, but it did. When I saw the face-off with Terence Crawford and Madrimov, Terence Crawford looked bigger. And that shocked me. It shouldn't have, but it did. And with that said, that guy, vacate all the titles at welterweight. The guy is no longer 147 at all. I mean, at all. So any talks about him at 147 now, let's cease that. Because looking at Terence Crawford in that stare down, that guy, I mean, and what I like to hear about from Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford ain't talking about slowing down anytime soon. All right? So Terence Crawford versus Madrimov, and he's going to whip his ass, and he's going to continue on. And hey, look, shout out to Madrimov, because really, he could have taken more fights and done whatever. He's only had 11 fights. All right, so he could have, just kept on and cherry picked or whatever. But taking on Terence Crawford and agreeing to this, listen, fighters fight, and mad love and respect to Madrimov. Before I go, I want to say this. David Morrell. I know there were a few people confused saying, wait, if Bivol versus Beterbiev is for undisputed at light heavyweight, how is Morrell fighting for the WBA title? It's the regular title, not the super WBA title. I know a lot of you guys who aren't, who really know boxing, that goes without saying, but we have a lot of viewers now in this community. So, class in session with a lot of this stuff, okay? So, it's for the regular WBA title, which it looks like Morrell is hunting down David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. And to be quite honest, if David Benavidez is the stone in Canelo Alvarez's shoe, then Morrell is the spear in David Benavidez's side. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz, but don't. everybody, I will be on vacation. There won't be the Facts Friday. I won't be calling the fight on Saturday, but I will be back, everybody. There's a lot we have to discuss, and I hope you guys enjoy this commercial for Undisputed. All right, this is history in the making. Over 25 years of not having an undisputed heavyweight champion, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury versus Alexander Usyk. I'm out.